What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. We are back for Growing Up Hip Hop season 6 episode 28. So it's the wedding, okay? This 90% of this episode was about Sean and TT's wedding, right? So we're in Miami. Sean and TT are bickering. But this is what we see before most weddings, right? There are a million things to do. You're stressed out. The bride is stressed out. And with a destination wedding, that adds to it. In the middle of the Rona, that adds to everything. And so Sean is tired. He said, listen, I'm working on 1 hour sleep. He got to the hotel and all he wanted to do was sleep. They got to go and get their marriage license. She done booked him spa treatments for get his teeth whitened and get a facial. And he could care less. Like, if he could just go back to the hotel and sleep for about 6 hours, he would be fine. Then we have the Simmonses meeting up. We have JoJo, Angela, and Vanessa meeting up, and JoJo was talking to them about what's going on with Denise. You know, he's telling them that things aren't right, they're not good, that they're not in a good space, that he's worried because, you know, he just doesn't, you know, he doesn't want bad vibes, you know, and he's telling them what his problem is. And as two women, he wants them to side with him because they, you know, they're his brother, you know, those are his sisters. But as women who are also mothers, they kind of feel where Denise is coming from, and that's what they're trying to tell him. They're like, listen, you have to understand that she doesn't, it's not just one kid now, it's two. And he was like, what do you mean? I have 2 kids too. I'm the father of 2. I'm the father too. But I mean, she just got to make time for me. She just got to make some time for me. And you know, you would think that sometimes when people would hear them say, you know, I say this to my students all the time when they go to ask me something and they kind of stop themselves in mid-sentence, or after they ask it, they say, oh, never mind, never mind. And I say, yeah, because when you said it out loud, it made sense. You know, it didn't really make a lot of sense, right? And you would think at some point when JoJo would hear himself, he would realize, I'm sounding real selfish right now. Y'all have had a baby all of 3 months, and you are complaining about you're not getting any time. This woman has a toddler running around and a whole baby hanging up off of her, and she's working, and you want some time. And again, you don't want things to get so far away that you wake up one day and realize, oh my gosh, it's been 2 years and we have allowed ourselves to not make ourselves a priority. But in 3 months, bruh, calm down. It's so not that serious. And when they weren't really siding with him, he was upset with them about it. They're talking about going to TT's wedding, and he said that maybe with the wedding that it would help, you know, help settle things or what have you. Angela's telling them that she gonna get her eggs frozen because she wants to have more churn, and she ain't in no relationship, and so, you know, it's not happening no time soon. And then she starts telling them that she want to be in a relationship and who they gonna set her up with, and they were like, child, bye. Vanessa said, I don't want to lose no friends. She said, I tried to set you up. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody trying to lose no friends behind you. I said, I know that's right. So then we see Irk down to the barbershop, and while he's at the barbershop, a couple of his people come through, his uncles, cousins, whatever, come through, and they talking about this documentary. And while they're talking about the documentary, they let Eric know, well, you know, Lazy was in the documentary. And Eric was like, what? He said, me and him had a whole conversation about that documentary, and it never came up. He never mentioned that. Really? Now, later on in the episode, Eric does sort of ask Lazy about it, and Lazy gonna say, well, I thought you knew I was in the documentary. I wasn't trying to do nothing. When they came to me, they made it seem like it was a family thing. I thought you knew. Now, here's the thing. This is why I'm gonna call bullshit on this. One, either y'all thought we didn't remember, or two, Lazy, you just lying. Because when Eric first told you, you said in your confessional, he telling me all about this documentary, but I ain't tell him that I was in it. So you knew that there may have been a situation, and you also knew that he didn't know you were in it. Then when he confronted you about it and he asked you about it, you said well, I didn't realize, I thought it was a family thing. I ain't mean to cause no problems. But when a man came to you and told you about it, he told you he wasn't with it. He told you he didn't like the idea. He told you that he was sort of beefing with his sisters. So at that point, you knew. At that point, you knew it wasn't a family thing. At that point, you knew they weren't together and they weren't on one page. Why wouldn't you say, well, damn, I participated in the documentary before. I thought it was a family thing. My bad, bruh. I thought y'all was on one accord. That's how you handle that. But for you not to say anything and then you wait for him to come to you, and Eric even said, you know, I feel a little betrayed. And he was like, betrayed? That's kind of strong, ain't it? Say you feel betrayed. Well, what the hell else is he supposed to do? Anyway. So, we see the ladies going out. Tanise, Aaliyah, Eric's wife, and Vanessa, they go out, and Tanise was like, I kind of needed this, you know, I needed this getaway, I needed this break, you know, and she's telling them about how things with JoJo, and she said, listen, we are off and on. When we're on, it's great, we're good. When we're off, it is bad, it is off. And she said, it just seems to turn on a dime, like 1 minute we're good, and the next minute it's just terrible, it's absolutely awful. And she got real upset and emotional, she was crying and stuff. And Vanessa is sort of in the middle because, again, Vanessa definitely, I think, understands where Tanise is coming from, but that's her brother, you know, what she, you know, and she said, well, I think the two of you guys need to just figure something out. And Angela had made the suggestion that they come up with a date night. Like, they have a date night where they agree that they're going to, you know, this is it, Saturday night, no matter what, we're going to get a babysitter, and this is it, it's going to be our time, and, you know, so that's kind of what they told her too. Like, listen, guys don't get it. They don't really understand. But yeah, you need to sort of figure it out. You know, you need to kind of, you know, y'all need to set some time aside and really, you know, create some me time, and y'all need to figure it out. Back down in Palm Springs, Tyran is at the wedding. He's shown up, and him and Sean are talking. Now, listen, first of all, I still think it's real effed up that Tyran is at that wedding. Tyran is not vaccinated, and if you told everybody else they had to be vaccinated, and people went and got vaccinated just to be at your wedding, and then you allow somebody to not be vaccinated to be there just because you cool with them and you their friend, I mean, you know, that's your favorite cousin, I got a problem with that. And if I was on Sean's side, and if I was Sean, that's something I would have put my foot down about. I'm sorry. He said his father got vaccinated and didn't want to be vaccinated. Ain't no way in hell, but okay, whatever, he there now. Then he gonna tell them that, he gonna tell Sean, they were talking about Pep not being there. He said, yeah, it was kind of awkward because they asked me what I was doing this weekend, and I was like, going to TT's wedding. And then of course they were, you know, it was awkward. And he said, you know, I know it really bothers my mom, you know, about, you know, about them not coming and everything. So then he says, well, you mean they should just show up? I mean, that's what I told her to do. I told her to just show up. Here goes Sean. No, you didn't. That's not a good idea. And I'm sitting here like, Tyran, why would you encourage, like, TT doesn't want her there. Regardless of why, regardless of who you think is right and who you think is wrong, TT doesn't want her there. That's it, that's all. Y'all can work it out later. And I know that that's a moment you won't get back. But on camera, I don't know what's happened behind the screen, but on camera at least, we have absolutely seen them try to work this out at least 2 other times. We've seen the conversations. Now, maybe when the camera stopped rolling, it was it. But TT is clearly over it. And I am too. Okay? Lil Twist, he done shown up with his girlfriend. And, you know, they look like they real cute. He talking about something. Maybe I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this. JoJo and Tanise show up. JoJo lets us know that he's got something planned for Tanise after the wedding that hopefully is going to remind her of all the wonderful, you know, basically remind her why we married. Brianna shows up. You know, she's Brianna. She went straight to the bar, child. She's Brianna. We see JoJo and Lil Twist have a conversation, and come to find out, Lil Twist been dating this woman for a year and a half. So this not no, oh, I just met her kind of thing. And JoJo was like, why you ain't bring her around? Like, why haven't we met her? And he said, well, you know, honestly, I know that I know that I love her and she's the person that I could settle down with, but I didn't know if I was ready to let go of everything to settle down with her. And so I didn't really want to bring her around until I knew that I was in that space. And I could respect that. I could definitely respect where he's coming from on that. Brianna's upstairs with the bridal shower. Sean and TT have departed until the next day. He don't like the fact that they're not gonna be sleeping in the same room. But you know, it is what it is. It's tradition, child. That's what we do. The guys are downstairs at the bar getting drunk, having a good time. She's upstairs with her bridal people. They're having drinks, having a good time. And Bree finds a way to make her way down there with the guys. Now, TT is alluding to the fact that Bree is going downstairs to be around a certain somebody. And she was like, now what's that about? You know, I made sure that I had everything here. What's she going downstairs for? Well, come to find out that Bree met one of TT's cousins, Sean, at TT's house. And they had got to flirting a little bit, a little something. And she trying to get her a little piece, okay? She went down there to flirt with him to get herself a little piece, okay? So that was that. The next morning, Sean is hungover because he was drinking. And it is pouring down raining. Listen, there's nothing worse in this world for a bride that, you know, the best laid plans of mice and men. It is an outdoor wedding that can no longer be outdoors, right? They are having their rehearsal breakfast, because it wasn't a rehearsal dinner. They're having their rehearsal breakfast outside under this red tent. The water is seeping in. And it is just... And I feel bad for her. But, you know, honestly, that is... Unfortunately, that is a risk you take when you plan an outdoor wedding. You just never know what you're going to get. Even when you try your best to plan it, you know, you just never know what you're going to get. Then she got a chemical peel that burned her skin. And so she ends up having like this whole meltdown. You know, nothing is going right. She's not feeling good about any of it. And she ends up having like this whole meltdown. But what I loved in that moment is that Sean was there. Sean went to her. You know, he told her all the right things. He told her, listen, it doesn't matter. I will marry you anywhere, anytime, any place. You know, I love you. It's going to work out. It's going to be okay. And then he ended up making her laugh. And, you know, I know that they've shown us a lot of them butting heads with the wedding and stuff. But then you saw the love. Like, you saw the love in that moment. And I was here for it. It was nice. So that was the episode. Next week, we're going to get the wedding. And that's it. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.